What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, I have just put a fresh pot of coffee on. You are invited into the museum. Grab a seat. We are looking at another hot topic of discussion. We are looking at another coffee time moment. I'm hanging out down here in the museum and I'm looking at my Mr. Spock Wave 2 M.I.B figure, and it got me to thinking, where on earth are all of the Mr. Spock Wave 2 M.I.B figures? It's coffee time with M.I.B, guys. We have to do some deep research on this. It's truly a mystery. A true mystery, guys. When I like a figure, I generally will buy multiples of that figure. If I like a figure enough, I will buy multiples. Always have. I've been asked that question, why do you buy so many multiples? Very simply put, I love the particular figure, so I buy multiples. It will be no different for Wave 7. Wave 2, however, was one of the rare moments that I will regret very deeply. When this figure came out, I had every intention on buying multiples of this figure. That's how much I really love the Mr. Spock figure. That's how much I love him. And that was the game plan going into Wave 2, was to purchase multiples of this figure. And when I say multiples, I mean like 3, 4, maybe 5. Well, there were other figures at the time that I was looking at, and I simply told myself that, you know what, I'll come back later and purchase this figure. Another one. I bought this one off of Target's website. And I said, well, you know what, I'll find him in the store. He'll be there in the store. As of the taping of this video, I have not found a Mr. Spock Wave 2 Star Trek figure in the wild, as collectors call it. I've never found this at a Target store location, or any store location for that fact. This figure has single-handedly become one of the most sought after and one of the most talked about figures for nothing else other than the fact that he has become so difficult to find, so difficult to obtain. Guys, the coffee's heating up over here, and so are some of my questions. What are your thoughts on the search for Mr. Spock Wave 2 M.I.B figure? Where is he? Where did he go? We know clearly that there were 10,000 of this particular figure produced. And conspiracy theorists will tell you differently, that this number was not real. But we know that M.I.B has already came out on record stating that, you know, there were 10,000 of each figure printed. So we'll kill the conspiracy theorist theories there, right there. But that still doesn't fill in the blanks. I've heard collectors from as far as California to Georgia tell me and share with me that they just couldn't find this guy into Target store locations. I'm the same way. No dice. So for me, the search for Spock definitely continued and still continues to this day. I mean, and I had to write questions down for myself. How many multiples of this figure do you own? And I'm asking you, the viewer, the collector of Migos, do you have multiples of this figure? Did you find this figure at your Target store locations? Were you able to grab this figure off of Target's website during the buy one get one for free, or buy two get one for free, and all of those crazy sales that they were having when people were going stark raving crazy for the green shirt Kirks? Even when that was going on, okay, even when that was going on, I never saw the Mr. Spock Wave 2 figure, and I had my alerts on. I'm sure as everybody had their alerts on, I still couldn't find this figure. Some of the most prominent collectors on the planet tell me today that they still can't find this guy. Mystery? We don't know. What we do know, it is that it has become one of the most sought after figures from most of the waves, simply because we can't find it. I have multiples of every figure but this one. I mean, it's Target, and we've been through the clearance situation with Target. We know that Target keeps figures in the back of their stock room. Is that where thousands and thousands and thousands of Mr. Spocks are being held captive? Guys, your thoughts, your opinions. The search for Spock. And we won't even start on Mr. Chekhov. That's a whole new episode. But it was a minor lapse in judgment on my part months and months and months ago when this figure came out, that I did not buy multiples. I'm getting desperate, guys. I'm getting desperate to the point where I'm probably gonna have to make deals with other collectors to add a few more of these guys to my collection, because waiting on Target to bring this guy back around, I just don't see it happening. Yes, somebody's gonna say, M.I.B, you have all of the newer wave Mr. Spock figures. So why are you belly aching? Why are you complaining? Why is it frustrating to you? I get it, guys. I know. And I love the rest of my Mr. Spocks. My problem, though, is I want this Spock. I don't want a variant Mr. Spock. I don't want a newer version of Mr. Spock. All of those are fantastic. I simply want multiples of the Wave 2 Mr. Spock. That's all. That's just as simple as that. For no other reason than I want one with his collar pulled down. The collar is driving me crazy. But because he's my only one, what can I do? He's one of the first figures that I look at when I come into the museum. And a lot of that is based on the mystique that has been built up on this figure because of how elusive and how difficult he has become to find and add to many collectors' collections worldwide. Your thoughts, guys, your opinions as we drink our coffee and we kind of wrap our minds around the concept of thousands and thousands and thousands of the Wave 2 M.I.B Star Trek Mr. Spock's missing in action. Guys, I guess the search truly continues for Spock. More fun on the way, guys. You know the routine. God bless. And keep searching for Mr. Spock.